deals that they missed.
What should buyers be concerned about with the lumber shortage right now?
It's what buyers should have been concerned about with lumber for a long time, and that's the quality of the lumber you're getting with the lumber package for your house. It's just gotten, 400 times more expensive in the last 6 months. So this is actually probably the number one thing we look at in new construction, is actually the quality of the lumber and the quality of the framing installation. And the reason we do that is because the lumber we use these days comes from very fast-growing trees, and it has a tendency to crack and split and warp and check as it dries out during the whole building process, from the time they harvest it to the time it goes to the lumber yard to the time it gets into the house. And lumber restrictions have loosened up quite a bit over the years. So what we're looking for is all the framing in straight. Has it warped? Has it twisted? Have they damaged it installing it? And have they used any pieces of lumber that they shouldn't have used during the build process? It's a little bit hard to believe for most people, but the generally accepted standard is as long as you have 2/3 of that piece of lumber left, bark inclusions like that or over here really don't matter. So as long as that doesn't take up more than 1/3 of that piece of lumber, they're allowed to use it. So we're looking for things like giant bark inclusions, split studs, twisted studs, poor framing practices, splits and dings in pieces of framing lumber, stuff like that. So what's here in the kitchen isn't bad at the exterior walls, and generally speaking, the lumber in this particular build has been pretty decent. I don't see a lot of stuff that's really massively twisted or warped or damaged. So they were either pretty selective when they put it all up, or they got a little bit lucky in terms of their framing package. But what's here isn't bad. So mostly what we're dealing with, bark inclusions at the edge of the lumber, like this 2x6 has got a pretty good chunk there, pretty good chunks here, but they've oriented it where when they eventually go to drywall, probably not going to be a huge deal as far as the framing is concerned.